Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of China Update, where I provide you with the most up-to-date political, economic, and geostrategic analysis on the world's #2 economy. My name is Tony. Let's jump in. And we begin today with a particularly disquieting development. Several media outlets, including the UK-based Financial Times, are reporting today that China is constructing a vast military complex in western Beijing, the capital, which US intelligence believes will function as a wartime command center, significantly larger than the Pentagon. Satellite imagery analyzed by the Financial Times reveals a construction site spanning approximately 1,500 acres, located 30 kilometers southwest of the capital. The site features deep excavations that military experts assess are intended for large fortified bunkers designed to safeguard Chinese military leaders during conflict, including potential nuclear warfare. Several current and former US officials speaking to the outlet have indicated that the intelligence community is closely monitoring this development, which would be the world's largest military command center, at least 10 times the size of the Pentagon. Construction commenced in mid-2024, and some intelligence analysts have informally named the project Beijing Military City. This initiative aligns with the People's Liberation Army's PLA efforts to develop new weapons and enhance its capabilities ahead of its centenary in 2027. US intelligence reports suggest that General Secretary Xi Jinping has directed the PLA to achieve the capacity to attack Taiwan by that year. The PLA is also rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal and striving to improve integrated access to various branches, including addressing what military experts consider one of its significant weaknesses compared to the US Armed Forces. Dennis Wilder, former head of China analysis at the CIA, stated, quote, "If confirmed, this new advanced underground command bunker for the military leadership, including President Xi as the chairman of the Central Military Commission, signals Beijing's intent to build not only a world-class conventional force, but also an advanced nuclear war-fighting capability." End quote. René Barbiers, a former imagery analyst at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, observed that satellite imagery shows at least 100 cranes operating over a 5-square-kilometer area, developing underground infrastructure. He noted, quote, "Imagery analysis suggests the construction of several possible underground facilities linked via possible underground passageways, although additional data and information is needed to more fully assess this construction." End quote. The Financial Times writes that on-site observations earlier this month revealed active construction, contrasting with the stagnation in many large real estate projects in China amid a property sector crisis. The site lacked typical commercial real estate features such as a showroom, and there were no official mentions of the project online in Chinese. While no visible military presence was noted, signs prohibited drone flights and photography. Guards denied entry and declined to discuss the project, and access to nearby popular hiking and tourist areas has been restricted, with a local shopkeeper describing the vicinity as, quote, "military area." End quote. A former senior US intelligence official commented that while the People's Liberation Army's current headquarters in central Beijing is relatively new, it was not designed with a secure combat command center. The official added, quote, "The size, scale, and partially buried characteristics of the new facility suggest it will replace the Western Hills complex as the primary wartime command facility." End quote. They further noted that Chinese leaders might believe the new facility offers greater security against US bunker buster munitions and even nuclear weapons, and it can incorporate more advanced and secure communications while accommodating the PLA's expanding capabilities and missions. A China researcher familiar with the images, speaking to the outlet, remarked that the site exhibits, quote, "all the landmarks of sensitive military facilities," end quote, including heavily reinforced concrete and deep underground tunneling. They added, quote, "nearly 10 times bigger than the Pentagon. It's fitting for Xi Jinping's ambitions to surpass the US. This fortress only serves one purpose, which is to act as a doomsday bunker for China's increasingly sophisticated and capable military." End quote. And of course, while not the only potential flashpoint which could bring the world to war, Taiwan remains one of the frontrunners for the dubious honor. We will return to Taiwan later in today's video, but for now, let's move on to the economy. But quickly, just one quick piece of housekeeping. In the last 3 years, I have only at one point taken the entire weekend off. I do want to use this opportunity this weekend to have a reset and relax. As such, there will not be China updates tomorrow or Sunday. We will take the whole weekend off, and I will be back with regular episodes on Monday. Like I said, this is the second time in 3 years that I've taken an entire weekend off, so I hope you can understand. I hope you have a restful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. If you're enjoying today's episode of China Update, don't forget to hit the like button. Liking, sharing, and subscribing is a tremendous help for the channel. It's the only way in which it can be shown to new people and grow. Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee links are also in the description below. Thank you so much. Let's continue now with the economy. China's mutual fund industry is undergoing a fundamental shift, with bonds eclipsing stocks as the preferred investment choice. By the end of September of last year, mutual funds held 16.8 trillion yuan, $2.3 trillion in bonds, more than half of the industry's 30 trillion yuan in assets, according to East Money Information Co. Stocks, by contrast, made up less than a quarter of total holdings. Bond-focused funds have surged over the past decade, with their net asset value growing from 700 billion yuan in 2015 to over 10 trillion yuan by the end of last year. The shift is driven by several factors. The lackluster performance of China's stock market since the 2015 crash has made the steady returns of bonds more attractive. Additionally, falling interest rates have fueled bond rallies, further drawing investors. Preferential tax policies have also incentivized institutional investors, particularly banks, to funnel money into bond mutual funds. However, this trend carries risks. The increased allocation of bonds diverts funds away from equities, contradicting regulators' efforts to stabilize the stock market. The demand for bonds has also raised concerns over a potential price reversal, which could lead to significant losses. Furthermore, tax incentives for bond mutual funds reduce government revenue, effectively subsidizing an investment with limited direct benefits to the real economy. Regulators, including the People's Bank of China, China's central bank, have taken notice, urging fund managers to increase stock holdings. The challenge now lies in balancing investment strategies to support broader economic growth while mitigating financial market risks. And finally for today, the United States is on track to meet its August 2025 deadline for deploying the first phase of the Replicator initiative, a drone swarm strategy aimed at countering potential military aggression from the PRC in the Taiwan Strait. According to Alex Campbell, Maritime Portfolio Director of the U.S. military's Defense Innovation Unit, DIU, the initiative is progressing as planned. Quote, "It's not another science and technology project. It is meant to get into production, meant to field systems, in this case in support of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command." End quote. Campbell stated at the West 2025 conference hosted by the U.S. Naval Institute and AFCEA. The Replicator initiative, first announced by former Deputy Defense Secretary Catherine Hicks in August of 2023, focuses on deploying thousands of all-domain attributable autonomous ADA2 systems. These include unmanned surface vehicles, aerial drones, and counter-drone systems. The goal is to establish a technologically advanced and unprecedented deterrent against China's PLA. Hicks underscored the significance of this initiative, stating, quote, "The US drone swarm would be harder to plan for, harder to hit, harder to beat, with smart people, smart concepts, and smart technology." End quote. She set the goal of fielding these systems by August 2025. The first tranche of funding allocated $1 billion for AeroVironment's Switchblade 600 loitering munition, a tank-destroying drone that has already demonstrated its effectiveness in Ukraine. In November, Underall Industries' Ghost X and Performance Drone Works C-100 was selected under the second tranche. The strategy aligns with the broader unmanned hellscape concept articulated by Admiral Samuel Paparo, commander of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. He stated, quote, "The U.S. would turn the Taiwan Strait into an unmanned hellscape using a number of classified capabilities." End quote. China, meanwhile, has also ramped up its unmanned warfare capabilities. At the Zhuhai Air Show in November, Chinese defense contractor China Electronics Technology Group Corporation unveiled a drone swarm launch vehicle capable of deploying 48 unmanned aerial vehicles. Additionally, China launched its Type 076 amphibious assault ships designed to carry a range of drones, further escalating the technological race in unmanned military systems. Analysts agree that while the US enjoys a sizable lead in advanced military drones, China dominates in the manufacturing of low-cost basic drone technology, which Beijing will seek to leverage as it seeks to close the gap for advanced military drones. Okay, that is today's episode of China Update. Thank you so much everybody for watching. Have a good and restful weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.